Good evening, Brazos Valley. Thanks for joining us for KAGS News at 6. I'm William Johnson. It's a case that has stayed with the Walker County community for more than 40 years. Today, questions behind the identity of the Walker County Jane Doe have been answered, but her murder case is far from over. KAGS reporter Jordan Adams has our story.
It's been 41 years, but the Walker County Sheriff's Office have never given up.
I never like to refer to this case as being a cold case. It has always been a top priority of our department. We loved her as well.
41 years since the body of a young girl was found off I-45 just outside of Huntsville. Authorities say she was naked, a pair of sandals with red straps a few feet from the body. She had been beaten and strangled to death.
One of the locations of which she was seen or observed was a truck stop located just north of here and a restaurant. At this location, she talked to a couple of employees and asked for directions to the Ellis Prison Farm.
It would take more than 4 decades before science helped crack the case, known to locals as the Walker County Jane Doe.
Sherry Ann Jarvis, date of birth 3/9 of 1966.
Authorities say Sherry Ann Jarvis was 14 years old when she showed up to a Texas truck stop near Huntsville on October 31st, 1980, and asked employees for directions. But she isn't native to the Lone Star State.
And she was from Stillwater, Minnesota.
Minnesota to Texas? How did authorities find her? In July of 2020, investigators contacted Ortham Labs and began forensic DNA testing from tissue samples from the original autopsy.
We can take evidence that is very old, DNA that's been previously unsuitable or unusable in other methods and traditional testing processes, and we can pull genetic information, markers and such from this evidence.
By March of 2021, Ortham was able to get a DNA profile and was able to connect the DNA with 6 people that were relatives to Jane Doe. Investigators were able to get in contact with 5 of the 6 relatives, and they confirmed to investigators that the Walker County Jane Doe was in fact Sherry Ann Jarvis. Her family says Jarvis went missing in 1980. She had been removed from her family home by the state of Minnesota for having too many absences from school. Shortly after, she ran away. How she got to Texas remains a mystery.
She actually was not in her family's custody when she ran away, so it would have been the agency that actually had custody of her at the time that reported her. Unfortunately, we're unable to find that because the records have been purged since then.
The science that helped crack the Sherry's case isn't new, but it's being used more regularly to try and help solve an unsolved mystery.
But here at the FBI, across the country, we're using this technique to try to help state and local officials solve some of the older cases that they have. Not just for the sheriff's office, but to bring closure to a family, to find the victim and to find the offenders.
Sherry's case is far from over. Now that investigators know who Sherry is, they can now begin to fill in the blanks as why and who is responsible for her murder. Sherry's surviving family says at least one part of the case brings closure.
We love and miss you, Sherry, very much. You are with Mom and Dad now, Sherry. May you rest in peace.
Reporting from Huntsville, Jordan Adams, KAGS News.
A statement from the family was read at the press conference. She was a daughter, sister, cousin, and granddaughter. The statement read, "We love and miss you, Sherry. May you rest in peace."